is Yunqing from YQ Traveling. I help young working adults plan their career break to travel, and today we're talking about why you should quit your job to travel in your 20s. Hi, welcome back. I'm Yunqing from YQ Traveling. A lot of people think that, if they want to travel for long term, they should do it when they're retired because then they would have the money to do it and they would have all the time in the world to do it. There is some truth in that, but I have another way of seeing things. Your pay is not significant, so it is okay for you to leave your job for a while. Okay, I know. Who am I to say that your pay is not that high? Of course, I'm not the person to say it, but comparing what you would be earning when you're probably 40 years old or even 50 years old, it will be a lot lesser. That's just, math. And if you have been earning more money, you would be more accustomed to a level of comfort. I wouldn't say luxury, a level of comfort that you might be unwilling to give up on. So when you're in your 20s and you're just earning like okay pay, it's okay for you to leave your job because it doesn't hurt that much to not get that income while you're traveling. Another reason why you should quit your job to travel in your 20s is because you have the energy to do so. So when I was on my own career break, I joined a 15-night cruise from Dubai to Italy, and it was a cruise that's called a repositioning cruise. It means that it travels during the off season and it goes in a very unpopular route because usually it's like people from Europe going down to Asia, but it was the other direction because the ship has to go home. So I was on that ship and most of the people on that ship were retirees, and I love retirees because they don't party, they are not rowdy, and they are just so polite. Oh, heaven, I was in heaven. But when we were offshore, for example, when we were in Jordan, we had to walk from the entrance to the rose city of Petra, it's a pretty long walk. And I was a 20 something, and then even I felt really tired when I was walking there. And then when I looked around at the retirees who were like had white hair and they were just like a tiny bit frail, I realized that it would take a lot more effort for them to do it versus me as a 20 something. So if you, for example, want to hike on the Inca Trail, want to do some like more extreme activities, better do it when you're younger, when it's much more easier for you. And this links to the next reason why you should quit your job to travel in your 20s, because you don't need to spend a lot. One reason being that you don't have as much money to spend. That's one very real reason. And the other is that you can still live in hostels and you can live on probably like very cheap food because you're young, because your body can still handle like sleeping in a room with 16 other people, some of them snores, and sleeping on a bed that's kind of not that comfortable. You still can handle it because your body is okay with it, which means that there are a lot of things you can cut down money on. You can cut down money on, for example, you can take a long distance bus, you don't mind that bus ride, versus someone who might need to take a plane, or you might be able to take public transport, while some people might want to just take cabs or some sort because they are used to a level of comfort. And for you as 20 something, you might not need it, and that is perfectly fine, and it perfectly saves so much money. Another reason why you should take a career break to travel in your 20s is because you don't have that much responsibility. You don't have the responsibility of a spouse and a child, or mortgages or car loans. It's okay for you to quit your job to travel for a while and come back to work because you don't have that much responsibilities financially. And of course, if you have familial responsibilities, just kind of like talk to them about it. Say that I'm just going to take 3 months off, it's very fast, I'm going to be back, and I'll cover that in another video about how you can convince your family and friends to let you go on your career break to travel. Stay tuned for that. And my last reason why you should take a career break to travel in your 20s is that you don't live in regret. And I have a related story. So after my career break, I came back to Singapore and I had a friend who asked me, do you regret taking that trip? And I thought for a while, because after coming back from the trip, I was looking for a job, and it did take me some time to find a job. And I was stressed, I was panicking, I was just not feeling like very well. But when I was asked the question whether I regretted it or not, I thought, I don't regret it. And in fact, it's because that I have done my math. I realized that I can take a career break travel at that point in time. I knew that if I did not do it, I would live in regret. Every day I would be thinking, what if, what if, what if? And I do not want to live in that kind of situation. I do not want to keep thinking, what if I had done this? What if I had done that? I would rather do it. And if it's bad, it's like, okay, lesson learned, and move on. So if any of those reasons resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I'm Yunqing for YQ Traveling. Videos are up every Monday, and I'll see you next week. Remember to subscribe.